Because it was. This is P.O.C. Speak it a little bit louder. One more time.
Attempting to follow somebody into a building?
Into what building?
I don't know. But they described a black female with black baseball cap and black bag.
And that I was
following somebody into a building.
Am I doing that now?
No, I just wanted to see if you're okay with you.
You just wanted to see if I'm okay. I said this is the criminal presence in the path. While they're hostile as I'm exposing the tactics of LAPD, which Ontario Police shares, talking about the people of the state that are gang stalking, giving them a mysterious report. I'm trying to follow somebody just like I'm harassing someone, just like I'm yelling in the bathroom. That's what they rely on to be in your presence where they're gang stalking. This is federal prison. This is vehicle 1103. Do you want to give your badge number and your name? Burtnick?
Yep. My badge number is
0856. Gang stalking 7YSF737. Gang stalking license 9FOV123. This is at F Street and Palm Avenue, and it is at what is 7:46 a.m. Monitoring with CMAX. Is there anything else? No, you're giving me some mysterious information. You could be making that up, in other words, for all I know. I'm sure you have it on your communication device. You could be making it up for all I know. You don't. Yes, you are. You have every reason to. This is the entity that's engaging in P.O.C. They're going to be disbanded for this conduct. This is where an entity is engaging in what is harassment while you're documenting them, and they are relying on what is absolutely manufactured information. Okay? No, that's it. I'm standing on public property, so I'm going to let you go on ahead about your business. I'm going to get that license plate, though, when you drive off. This is P.O.C. That's harassment by the demons that lie. They make up anything. These demons that are gang stalking. 1697641. They engage in sounding their sirens, just like I was describing by LAPD. Lying about, oh, somebody told me that you're trying to break into the building. License 9FKX968. That's exactly what's going to change. This is pursuant to surveillance. Nobody told them anything. They're engaging in what is gang stalking. All right? And that's the entity that does that. That's supposed to threaten you. This is light activity 9NCC394. This is the entity that's engaged in that pattern of conduct while listening to what I'm exposing on the podcast. You see this fake sun? That's federal prison. Federal prison right there. Remember, that's not just a harassment tactic. That's not just pursuant to the P.O.C. and facilitation with the gang stalking business and the gang stalking neighborhood. It's not just hostility by a demon that's letting you know that LAPD, the same entity, committed murder pursuant to surveillance. It's committed in furtherance of murder. You're gang stalking, and the criminal objective is why you are, by law, going to prison. And just like that, I want to be clear on that. That agency engaged in that P.O.C. You're gang stalking me by helicopter all night long, and then you're talking about 9TKU234 told you something about me? They don't have to tell them anything. They're stalking as an agency. That's the entity that's engaged in that, and they're doing so while they are under a fake sun. That's the entity that's doing so. Oh, we were told that they are. That's exactly what I mean. Any of them stating that I broke into their car, they break their own window and then state that you broke their car, and that is the gang stalking police. Oh, we were given information that you broke into somebody's vehicle. And so that's how they are manufacturing reasonable suspicion and probable cause. While they're stalking, they're monitoring. That's exactly why they're going to federal prison. That was, I just want to be clear, that was exceedingly pathetic. This is criminal conduct of the Ontario Police Department 749. This is exactly what is putting Mike LORENZ in prison. This is pursuant to targeting as an agency. That specific environment is proving it. And I've been documenting them targeting me as an agency, knowing exactly who I am, knowing the status of my vagina in this very neighborhood for a prolonged period of time, for years to be exact. While this demon's audible activity is speaking to what is relevant to assessing mental illness, a malicious psychopath who is delusional, who is also very hostile while they're engaging in what is proven as surveillance. This is not going to be debated in court. What's going to be prosecuted is with regard to prosecuting what is exposed as a domestic terrorist leader, not a police chief, where that agency is targeting, including while they're keeping me, as I'm documenting it and publishing it online, under surveillance and engaged in ongoing criminal acts of obstruction. Like what I just captured here, that was Exhibit A. Okay, that's P.O.C. Nothing even close to that happened. Just like when they're stating upon kidnapping and unlawfully search Joseph Valencia, that was so excited to engage in what is battery in concert with those demons, which I documented, while they're lying and stating that I harassed somebody. It's the same P.O.C. And they know that there was no harassment because they're engaged in surveillance. They're doing so while they're hostile about what it is that I'm publishing. Listen to my podcast on September 28, 2025. A lot of indictments in there. The entity engages in that, and that's, again, this entity is being disbanded. This is where the Ontario International Airport is gang stalking plane after plane, and he's talking about, you're going to analyze that. They're going to federal prison, okay? There's no takeoffs over here. The entity is engaged in what is ongoing serial flight stalking with the neighborhood under the fake sun, with the entity that's engaging in that. And while they're in doing so, that's an entity that is a psychopath that engages in 9UHS 890, is engaging in what is crossing paths with that demon that comes close. That's a means of monitoring. But while you listen to that, while you witness that, understand the ways in which the system of surveillance is going to necessarily change, because we all know that the gang stalkers are making up corrupt police departments in this country. Okay? That's what you're learning from that, and that's going to be a basis of federal prison for the kidnappers that are engaged in it. It's 7:51 a.m. at what is 304 F Street. 304 West F Street. This is P.O.C. That's criminal summoning. Alrighty, the entity, by the way, is engaged in criminal summoning at 11 o'clock in the morning. Ontario Police. Starbucks is right here on the opposite side of the street. When you're looking at the fake sun documentation, 7ZAA655. This is the entity that's coexisting with stalking by planes. That's a demon that was lying in a police vehicle, coexisting with the stalking with impossible light activity. Impossible light activity moving across, they're monitoring with regard to the audible activity coming out of the mouth of a psychopath that's wearing a police uniform. 56402Y3 and 9KLG048. Look at that light activity on the side of their vehicle. That's not the product of driving and driving under what is the sun. And in addition to that, this is the fake sun. Speaking to surveillance. P.O.C.